The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to the raw and uncensored Ambitchious podcast. I'm your host, the original HBIC, Katie Boyd. During our time here together, I will be instilling all of the strength, power, and determination you will need to use the very stones thrown at you to build your ultimate empire. We will redefine the word bitch from the derogatory to the acronym being in total control of herself. So let's adjust our crowns and prepare to live life ambitiously. Oh yeah, here I am, the original HBIC, Katie motherfucking Boyd. That's my best pornography voice.
I love it.
Today's Ambitchious episode is on the top 10 ways to discipline yourself to reach any one of your goals. And I just have this feeling already, this is going to be a twofer. Because I think that I'm like 48 hours into a fast.
You have a lot of discipline.
So I am just fucking disciplined. I'm angry.
Oh, God.
I'm just breathing heavy. My heart is palpitating, and I am ready to rip someone a new asshole.
Oh,
so this
God,
is going to be real
please don't rip me
good.
one.
And here's my co-host. My
hey,
husband,
everybody.
my ride or die bitch, Matthew Babine. Yes,
Thank
but
you.
first, we're going to read the iTunes review of the week because you know that when people review Ambitchious on iTunes, it gets me horny. So if you want to get me horny, you better give me a good review. 5 stars and something written. And today's review is from Meredith Falconeer, and she says, I am a self-help, positive thinking junkie. And Katie hits every mark. It's so raw, so real, and I literally find myself shaking my head in agreement on so many things. And it's so freaking funny. This is a must listen. Thank you, Meredith. That made me very horny. And I just want to remind you to go to themisfitclub@gmail.com. Email me to redeem your $100 gift certificate that you can use towards anything KBMFC related. So please, 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 guys, I know I say this on every podcast, but it's so important for you guys to share Ambitchious because it is not just an idea, it's an actual movement. So when you guys tag me on your Instagram stories or, I know a lot of you guys are just sharing these things because, you have a lot of filthy animals around you that you want to kind of knock some sense into. And I don't even know that you're sharing them, but just share it on everything. It's so important.
Really is.
Yeah. I want to talk about my book before we get into all
Yeah,
this.
sounds good. Go ahead.
So
It's
as you
awesome.
guys know, I'm in the last stages of writing my book that's cleverly entitled Ambitchious. And it is going to be the most amazing book ever on the face of the planet. I'm
Yes,
telling
it is.
you.
It's going to be awesome.
So we are going to have a little bit more details in the next coming weeks on pre-sale and how you're going to be able to get your little grubby hands on my book Ambitchious. So that's going to be huge.
Which took a lot of discipline. I'm so proud of you. You killed it.
Dude,
You've been killing it.
I wrote 20,000 words this weekend. 20,000 words.
I know.
You have you ever written 20,000 words in your life?
Maybe in my life. I don't know. I haven't really counted them.
Now, this is coming from the guy that I see typing emails with one finger, still to this day
Very
like
slowly.
this. He texts with one finger. I'm like,
Very
dude, just
slowly.
use fucking voice text. Jesus Christ, you're killing me, Smalls.
Or take a typing class, which I never took.
You really should.
Yeah, it's like...
Didn't they used to have that for like secretaries back in the
quicker.
40s? They should bring that back for you, for Christ's
Just
sake.
for me.
Oh my God.
Matt Babine's typing school. That would be great.
No, I don't think that would go over very well. And then another thing that's coming up is Kripalu.
Kripalu was awesome.
If you guys follow me on my social media, last night Matt and I went live in our best unicorn onesies. It was so sexual. You guys have no idea. I felt like I was like doing drugs all day when I went live.
I was just looking at the live, how it looks back, and I'm like looking at myself in the unicorn outfit. I'm like, what the fuck
How
am
do
I
you
doing?
feel about that?
What am I doing?
How do you feel about that?
I actually felt pretty good because I was like, it was a really good laugh, and I'm gonna wear it dancing in the last dance night. So.
Now, mind you, my husband is a 2-time world champion fighter.
Yeah.
He's not a small man. He's pretty. You're pretty built.
Yes.
And when he walked walked out in that fucking unicorn costume, I literally, he was coming out of the bedroom. You can see it on my Instagram story, and I almost shit a purple Twinkie. He looked like an overgrown baby.
I did.
Like,
yes.
I just wanted to give you a bubba and put you to bed with a spanking.
Oh, don't get me excited.
So Kripalu is going to be January 4th, 5th, and 6th of 2019. It is going to be the most amazing weekend. And it's so funny because all of the people that I talk to on a daily basis, they're always complaining like, I just don't know what to do to bring my life to the next level. I have no people that are like-minded or like that are in my same soul group. I don't know where to find these people. And then I'm literally like, come to Kripalu, you ding dong. And then they're like, yeah. And then they just like change the subject. I'm like, well, God is like giving you like a gift right in front of you, and you're just ignoring it.
Yeah, it's like-minded people, and an awesome event. It's going to be amazing.
And you get to see this asshole in a unicorn onesie. That the front and the back open with a zipper. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Just the front. So, I wouldn't leave the back. You'd be pulling it down every time I turn my back, and I'd be walking around my butt hanging out.
I see your ass hanging out on a daily basis anyway, so it's probably hanging out right now. If I lift your shirt, it is your whole crap. I just saw your asshole.
These are the gangsta jeans I wear.
Matt, you needed friggin' suspenders, man. Like, I'm sorry. This just has to happen. So I will be linking the Kripalu link in the show notes to go on to purchase your tickets, to look at rooms and food and all that good stuff. It's totally affordable. And don't worry about not knowing anyone, because I'm telling you, you come to Kripalu, the whole weekend you're going to meet like literally your best friends.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it's a good way to go.
That's right.
Yes.
So I'm not going to go into my 6 life makers or breakers, because if you're new here, go back to the first podcast, the numero uno podcast. We're into like 20 podcasts now.
That went by fast.
That's crazy, right?
Wow.
So go back to the first podcast. This is what the whole Ambitchious movement is all about. It's the 6 life breakers or life makers. And like I always said from the get-go, if you don't like what I have to say, if you think that I have a potty mouth, if you're just like, don't understand, don't listen. But if you do give it a bad review, like I always say, it's time for you to go into a dark room, light a candle, and go fuck yourself. And if you want to put on a little Foreigner, just to really get the juices flowing while you're in that dark room with your candle lit, you can.
That's a good idea.
You were listening to Foreigner this morning when you were showering.
Yeah, I was.
He was singing in the shower.
The old school.
It was another turn on. Another turn on of my life.
I'm just a sex machine. What can I tell you?
Who is on the receiving end of the sex machine?
I don't nobody but you.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, I should be just tweaking myself right now. I'm so turned on. Do you want to get into this shit?
Let's get into it.
Because it was funny because Matt and I were sitting on the couch this morning having coffee, like we always do. And because I'm the one that writes the podcast, and then Matt just shows up and steals my thunder and acts like he's like the most knowledgeable sage on the planet.
I am very knowledgeable and a sage.
I was going over the podcast with him this morning. And he's like, what's the podcast about? And I'm like, it's all about discipline. And he kind of like swallowed hard, because in a lot of ways, you are like the least disciplined person I know.
I'm disciplined when it comes to things that I like to do.
That's so Virgo of you. Oh my God, these motherfucking Virgos. You Virgos, man, you guys just march to the beat of your own damn drum.
You think you're trying to discipline me, saying you should do it this way, that way. And people only do what they want to do, right?
But I'm ambitious. I know what's going on. So I'm telling you, I know everything about life. If you just listen to me, your life would go to the next level.
And most of the time I do, but there's certain things I just don't want to listen to.
This is actually a subliminal message to everybody that's listening to the podcast right now. I am the authority, goddammit, and whatever I say should go.
You try it.
But yes. You're disciplined in your own discipline.
Yes.
Which sometimes doesn't work that well.
Which is sometimes listening to you, not all the time.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So I wanted to do a 48-hour fast after Thanksgiving, because I didn't even eat that much, but even though the little bit I did eat on Thanksgiving, I just felt like so gross and like gluttonous. So Matt's like, I'll do a fast with you. I'll be very supportive or whatever.
Yep.
So last night we get home and I'm like, okay, this is probably the time that I would be eating. So I have to switch it up a little bit. So I went and I took a bath, had some tea, meditated, whatever. And Matt, I hear him like rustling around in the kitchen like pots and pans. And I'm like, what the fuck is this asshole doing? And then I start smelling the food. I'm like, you prick. He waited for me to go into the bathtub to start warming up leftovers and I'm like, you bastard, you said you were going to do a 48-hour fast with me. And he's like, I do what I want. So his whole song and dance changed.
I was really hungry. I made 30-something hours or 27 hours.
24, you pussy.
It was actually 25.5 because the other half I was in my unicorn onesie.
That's true.
The Facebook
I'll
page,
give that to you. But that's what I'm trying to say about Matt. I'm not trying to call him out, even though obviously that's the only reason why I'm here is because he's my physical and live whipping boy. But we're going to talk about the top 10 ways to really set yourself up with discipline and strong will and a strong mindset, because honestly, that is like how people actually go to the next level. People always ask me like, is there like a magic pill or like some kind of trick or tip that you can give me to reach my goals? And I'm literally like, perseverance, diligence, tenacity, and just don't be a fucking pussy.
There's no easy way out. You have to push through.
Is that like a Rocky song?
Yeah,
there's no easy way out.
I think it is. Oh my God, yes. There's no easy way out.
I've been listening to Rocky, the soundtrack, for the last couple of days because when I'm feeling weak, I've
been pumping it through the house to keep you going.
Yeah, a lot of good it's doing you.
And
breaking your fast last night. God damn it.
It was just so I could survive you in your fast. I could do it. She's only got another few hours
You
left.
really had the eye of the tiger last night. Tony the tiger. I can't believe that you were freaking eating.
Stop making me hungry.
Matt's like, I want some Frosted Flakes right now. All right, so let's get into it.
All right.
Jesus Christmas. Number 1, remove all temptations.
Yeah.
Remove all temptations. So for me, like when someone comes to me and they start working with me, they ask me like, what should I do when I go home now that I have my meal plan? I'm like, go through your entire house. If you are alone or you're with a significant other and you don't have children, throw away all the junk food. If you have children, take all their junk food and put it in like a special place that it makes it almost like embarrassing that you go into that special place to start rummaging through the food. Right? Have you ever done that in the middle of the night?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Doritos.
I always hear a good
Dorito.
When the hell did I ever have a bag of Doritos in the house?
No, I'm talking about I have to be disciplined so I won't put them in. This is remove all temptation. So I don't even bring this stuff into the house. Right?
I love how Matt's acting like he grocery shops at all.
Do.
I don't even bring anything into the house.
I don't bring anything into the house.
I don't bring anything into the house.
So that's why I haven't had Doritos in 10 years, because you haven't been bringing them in?
Exactly.
Jesus, I thought it was my self-discipline.
I know for a fact, though, that Matt, like, shame eats in parking lots at Two Guys Burgers. Because, like, he'll say to me, okay, I'm going to do intermittent fasting today, because we do a lot of intermittent fasting. And he'll be like, so today, at like 2 o'clock, I was driving by Be Good Burger.
Be Good Burger is very good and healthy, all organic burgers.
It's not when you're going ahead of your fast.
Yeah, well, I was running there really fast to get that burger. So sometimes my my discipline isn't exactly on point as yours.
So here's the deal.
I'm working on it.
Remove the temptations of Be Good. Maybe take a different route. Don't drive by Be Good Burger on the days that you have to go wherever Be Good Burger is.
I love that route. That's a really good route. It's easy.
Well, for me, it's like the temptations for me is I am a food addict. My whole entire life, every emotion I ever felt as a child always revolved around food.
Well, so much revolves around food, right? If you're doing well, oh my God, let's go out to celebrate.
Yes.
If you're not doing well, oh, the poor thing.
We should take her out and force feed her.
Here's a couple of ice creams and a sundae.
Don't talk about ice cream. It's my favorite. Soft serve. But I just remove temptation. So, like in the last month, I've been doing this like crazy protocol, right?
Yes.
And no one knows what it is yet. It's top secret. It will be released soon. But I just know, like, okay, I can't go to people's birthday parties because as soon as I start seeing other people eating and drinking, like I start this internal dialogue like, why can't you eat that? Why can't you do that? What's wrong with you? Just do it. And it's like
you start talking yourself into it, right? Saying,
that's what I just said.
Well, yeah. You were saying it the opposite way, but I would be like, I can definitely have that. I'm so thin. I think I have the opposite, right?
No,
I mean,
I don't have that. You have reverse body dysmorphia.
Yes, because I think I'm like I'm trying to get one ab.
Like Matt will look in the mirror today and be like, oh, look at my stomach really went down. And I'm like, literally like, dude, just keep going. Right? Don't I just say, just shut the fuck and keep going. Shut the fuck up, Matt, and just keep going. And he's like, I have a problem with I need to celebrate the small wins a little bit more. And you celebrate like any little like freaking vagina hair. No. Oh my God.
I celebrate any fat and a win.
Jeez. I know. Believe me, I live with you.
I did it.
So remove all temptation. So if temptation for you is like, I know my little friend over here, he likes to come home at night and he likes to have a cocktail or 2 or 3.
Yes.
And I said to him, Matt, I understand the old way that you think about alcohol. Because Matt will say to me, there's no carbs in vodka. Like on the South Beach diet in 1943, we were able to drink vodka. I'm like, I understand that. And there are no carbs in vodka, but your body has to metabolize the alcohol before it taps into your body fat stores to burn fat, number one. And it causes systemic inflammation. So even if you're not like heavy fat wise, it's going to cause bloating and water weight gain.
That's why I moved right to the Scotch instead.
Stuff it down with brown.
The vodka was the problem. Just kidding. No, you're absolutely right.
No, you actually are really good. You're
good.
So what I always say is try to replace it with something else. And
Right,
we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yep.
But remove all temptations. That's number one for discipline. So if you know your triggers, get rid of them the best that you can.
Yep.
Okay? 2, know your weaknesses. So like Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. So like I just know Katie's a food addict, right? I'm reforming myself. I'm recovering.
Yes.
So I have an addiction with food, and I don't have an alcohol addiction by any means, but if I'm out with friends and everyone else is having a glass of wine, I kind of like get a little bit of FOMO.
Right. Well, it's sugar is the addiction, right? So if any carbohydrates or anything that has sugar in it, so that's what people crave. That's why you go, hangry, right? When you get away from the...
I've never been hangry in my life. Matt actually is like, oh, geez, here she goes. It's crazy because if I cheat with like carbohydrates one night, like I love these French fries that I know are like the devil fries. They're like my favorite things in the world.
You're not going to stop eating them.
I can't stop. Yeah, and then what happens is the next day when I wake up, I'm a shitbag. Like I'm mean, I'm angry, I have brain fog, I have all of the side effects of like carbohydrate stuff. Everyone in here is like shaking their head like, yeah, we know what that feels like.
It's horrible.
So I just have to say to myself, I don't go to that restaurant because I'm addicted to the French fries and I know that I can't stop myself. And even if I don't order them, if we're with like another couple that orders them, I just like sit there like jizzing in my pants the whole time, like looking at them. And then that's like not good either, right? Because you talk all about like the psychological stuff when you're like, you're not eating the French fries, but you're like perseverating about eating the French fries. Eat them. So just fucking eat them and get it over with.
Get it over with. And sometimes you can beat yourself up over stuff. I mean, not you, but anyone, they can beat yourself up over stuff. It's like, oh, I ate that fry. No, just eat the fry and say, I'm going to eat the fry, and then move on. And then the next day begin again.
But it's doing that every day is the problem, right? Because every day you're like, it's just a French fry. It's just a glass of wine. And then it's cumulative.
That's my problem. Like, it was only 10. I'll start tomorrow.
I'm like,
you have fries today?
He's doing it again. All right, number 3. Set crystal clear goals, have an execution plan, and then reverse engineer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, mine is I cannot come home from work and sit on the couch, because if I'm going to work out that day, I am not going to get up. So I have to go right from my job at regional to the dojo or to the gym.
Yes.
One of the two. But if I make that stop home, it's like, oh yeah, I'll go a little later. Oh, what's this? And then you start finding things to procrastinate and not really.
Agreed.
You too.
So,
same thing.
Well, for me, like with the goal thing, like, okay, so say like my goal is I desire to be, okay, then this is how it actually, when you guys do this, after you listen to the Ambitchious podcast, I want you guys to do this. So you write down in a piece of paper or a legal pad, like my attorney husband has over here, and you just write down, I desire to, okay, and it could be 125 pounds and this much body fat or whatever. I'm being super clear and concise, because the problem is our goals are just too ambiguous, and you have to vibrate on a certain level to get back from the universe what you put out there, right?
The goal in a timeline, right?
Yes.
Because it just can't be like, okay, good. It'll be in 15 years.
Yes.
Right?
Well, that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Or never, because you're not so clear-cut, concise. So if you say, I desire to be 125 pounds and 18% body fat and feel this way by January 1st, okay, I'm just throwing out a date. It has to be a clear cut, concise date timeline.
Yep.
And then I want you guys to write how it will make you feel.
Right.
Or, like for me, like the weight loss, it's just in my head because, I'm doing this protocol right now.
Yes.
So how it will make you feel when you reach that goal, and how you want to feel during the time that you're reaching that goal. Because we had this whole conversation this morning about it.
And enjoying the process. You don't want a goal or a lifestyle change won't change unless you're enjoying the way you're going about it. And at the beginning, it's not going to be enjoyable. It's going to be new, right? So you're going to be pulled up out of the rut and you're going to be like, oh, I got to do this. But then you start conditioning yourself in that pattern, the new pattern of, losing the weight, doing the exercise, not going home, sitting on the couch first because you know that's a trap.
Yes.
You're not going to get off the couch. You're not going to go work out, right?
Absolutely.
So, you're absolutely right.
And that's where the core desired feelings come in, guys. So if you haven't listened to the core desired feelings podcast, I think it was like last week, go back and listen to that one too, because that's going to help you immensely. But you have to be so clear cut in the goal. The goal could be attaining a certain amount of money. So that's another thing you want to do. You have to put I desire to have in my possession by such a date this amount of money. This is what I'm going to give for the money.
Right.
And this is what I'm going to receive back.
Right.
And how you want to feel the whole entire time. So if you're not clear cut, you don't have that crystal clear goal, you'll probably do well, but you're not going to go to the actual pinnacle of the success that you want to achieve.
Right, and if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? So you have to do this with
fucking
thought,
got that right.
Thought, focus, and action.
Right.
Because you can read the best books and be like, oh my God, I know all this information. But if you're not getting up and doing that, or oh my God, if I do this, if I could just find a coach like Katie Boyd to teach me, and I'll call her next week, or I'll go to that. I'll go to that seminar she's doing next week. Then that time goes by, no action is done. Then you're like, why am I still the same? Or how come I'm not the same? Yeah, because you read it, you know the information, or you heard the information, but you're not taking action.
Absolutely.
Right? You got to be able to take action.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt, for that plug.
Yeah, well,
You're so good. You're so good. All right, number 4, create or adopt new habits. So we kind of have already tapped into this a little bit. Matt says once he goes home and he sits on the couch, that's like the end. For me, I have to wake up first thing in the morning and I have to get all of my exercise out of the way. And then if I'm feeling like I got a little gumption in the end of the day and I want to do a little bit more, then I can do it. But for me, I just know that if I don't execute the most important thing in the morning, which is my self-care. Yes. So for me, my self-care is getting up in the morning, doing all my spiritual rituals, journaling, setting my intentions for the day, going to my gratitude, having my black coffee on the couch, my French press coffee, taking that time for myself. Then what I do is my clothes are already laid out on the edge of the bed to go to the gym. And then I get in those clothes and I, go to wherever I'm working out that day. Yep. Sometimes it's in my own house. Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes it's at my gym. I got all kinds of places to go.
Yeah.
That's why I should never have a weight problem, because I have like 75 gym memberships.
When you take something away, right? When you were talking about like alcohol or something like that, when you take something away, you need to replace with something, because sometimes your body, not sometimes it is, your body is conditioned for certain things at certain times.
Yes.
So if you've been like having a martini, let's say at 7 o'clock at night.
For the last 10 years.
If you just take that away, even if you're not addicted, or you could be, I don't even know, but you have to replace with something else. So if you're going to sit there, you're going to watch television, you're going to have that drink. Now it's tea.
Yes.
Now it's soda water, or it's Pellegrino, whatever it is. Put something else to fill it. You don't want to white knuckle. And it takes 3 days, right? 3 days to get out of a bad habit.
Yes.
3 days, 30 days, you killed it.
Right.
But those 3 days
Well, the 3 days
crucial.
is actually like the physical addiction goes away. So if it's sugar or alcohol or whatever, then 72 hours, usually the actual physical addiction goes away. And then it takes, like they say, 21 days to create a new habit, and then 30 days to create a new groove. And what we have to understand is our brain has myelination. So the brain actually has grooved itself into these patterns year after year after year.
Yep.
So instead of breaking down the pattern, which most people try to do, that's what you call the white knuckling of it.
White knuckling.
You have to remyelinate your brain to do the new habit or to have the new pattern.
Yes. Yeah, and you can condition yourself, but you have to take that first action.
Absolutely.
Right? Like getting up, in the morning is key to get that workout in. And then you have the whole day. And it's so important, if you're not filling yourself up and taking care of you, you are your investment. I hear so many people, but I have to work, and I have to do this, and this is this. You're not going to be around. Right. You're not taking care of your body. Your vehicle that you're living in is not in good shape.
Absolutely.
And you need to keep that in good shape.
I agree.
Yeah.
So do something different. Tea, soda water. What I love at night, I just lay in bed at night and I listen to like motivational things on YouTube, and it just like I think it actually also, before you go to bed, if you listen to things that are like really motivating, it like marinates in your mind for the 8 hours that you're sleeping, and then you wake up and you're like, okay, I'm ready to kick this day in the balls again.
Yeah, definitely does.
Instead of being like, oh, it's Monday. That's Teresa. That's Teresa. That's my best Teresa Boyd impression.
Monday.
She's like, I hate Mondays. I'm like, Monday's like every other fucking day of the week.
If you were leaving on vacation
up.
Monday morning, you would love it.
Oh, please. She'd be friggin'.
It's Monday. I'm out of here. I can get to go on vacation.
Teresa would be riding that baloney pony into the sunset if it was Monday and she was leaving for vacation. Last but not least, for our top 10 reasons, this is number 5. Yeah. Organization.
Well, organizations.
I am extremely good at this.
Key.
Not so much over here.
I wouldn't say that. I've actually adopted you're what do you call it? A maniac with organization. Everything's got to be. I'm just like, that's not really affecting my goal. I don't really give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Sometimes, but you care about every little.
I have like steps and I'm very methodical, but that's like, for me, that's the only way that I can
works
thrive.
for you. It works for you.
Needs to work for you too. I think that would help you immensely.
You can keep working on it for me.
I'll work on it till the day I die.
I will use my discipline to repel it.
So really, really, guys, think about your organization. Like I said, put your gym clothes out. Write your goals down the night before for the next day. So when you wake up, it's just like autopilot. You just do the things that you have to do to make the goal be achieved. And remember, you don't say on Monday, I'm going to lose 100 pounds. Then Tuesday, you're like, what the fuck? I'm not skinny yet.
Right,
it could take a year or 2. I mean, depending on like what kind of protocol that you're doing. So organization is key. Set your goals. Really be diligent about that. Matt is...
And enjoy the process, because we were just reading the other day, somebody was saying that it was a physician or a scientist saying, if you're working out and you're on a treadmill and you're like, I've got to do this and this is awful because I should be on here 3 hours instead of 2, you're doing more damage than good mentally because you're going in it in a mental bad attitude.
Yes.
Reward yourself, guys. Don't beat yourself up. If you do the work, hey, you know something? I did the work. If you write it down, like you say, Katie, the night before, and it becomes almost like seamless because you thought about it, like you said, in the night when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
So then you just get up in the morning, you grab your stuff, you have your list of what you want to accomplish that day. Like yesterday, I had a long list. I only accomplished 6 things out of the 9.
Right.
You just take those other 3 and move them to the next day.
Yep.
Or maybe it's not even important anymore. I don't know.
Right.
But if you have it, it's huge.
But I'm the worst with that because I make these like outrageous to-do lists for myself, and then I'll do like 47 of the things instead of 48, and then I'll beat myself up for that one thing. So listen to Matt. He's actually very good at that part. You need to beat yourself up sometimes a little bit more, but I'm trying to adopt that bit of him because I'm a flagellite. I was like in the Middle Ages, and I was like during the Crusades, like whipping myself for God. Like I think I'm like reincarnated into that because I'm very good at beating myself up. But I know that it's not ultimately bringing me joy and happiness when I'm achieving a goal. And then what happens is you struggle to achieve the goal. You achieve the goal, and you're like, oh, I thought I was going to be happy once I achieved this goal. It's not really the truth.
You got to be happy now, every day.
Great job, Matt.
Yeah, thank you. Great job for you. This is a great topic. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I came up with it.
Yeah, I studied. And thanks, and I thank you very much. I'll stop there so I don't get beat.
Thank you for being crusaders for the Ambitchious movement. And like I always say, see you next Tuesday. Ow!
Good job.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.